Hi, I'm Josh Cooley, director of Toy Story 4, and this is every toy in the Toy Story movies. There are a lot of toys in the Toy Story movies, so we're just going to cover the toys that are credited for today.
Greetings, I am Buzz Lightyear.
The Aliens, voiced by Jeff Pigeon, one of our story artists at Pixar. They originally from Pizza Planet, and they were in the Claw game, and that's where Woody and Buzz came across them. One of them from that game, I'm just remembering, was given to Sid's dog, which is horrible. Why would we do that?
No more games, Ken. What did Lotso do to Buzz, and how do we switch him back?
You can't make me talk. You can't!
Barbie is voiced by Jodie Benson, and at the beginning of Toy Story 3, Molly decides to get rid of her, and she's not taking it very well at all, and she's donated with the rest of the toys to Sunnyside Daycare.
I can't believe she would throw me away!
And in Toy Story 2, we have Tour Guide Barbie.
I'm Tour Guide Barbie!
Still voiced by Jodie Benson. And when the toys are driving around the toy store trying to find Al's office, Tour Guide Barbie comes flying in and lands and directs them to where they need to go. It's very funny.
Remain seated, please. Permanecer sentados, por favor.
In Toy Story 4, we added more Barbies. So the gymnast Barbie that Molly had, and the two others from her same toy line. Gabby is surrounded by a group of ventriloquist dummies that are her henchmen. The number one henchman is named Benson, and he doesn't have a speaking role because he's a ventriloquist dummy, and there's no one around to speak for him.
Oh, Andy did a great job, huh? Nice and strong.
I like it. Makes you look tough.
Bo Peep, voiced by the incredible Annie Potts. She was in the first two Toy Story films as Woody's love interest.
You're cute when you care.
Oh, not in front of Buzz.
Let him look.
When we were going to do Toy Story 4, we decided to bring her back, and we went back and looked at the other two films, and she's only in about 6 minutes of films. Like, she's barely in the other movies. But she is the rock for Woody.
Woody, look under your boot.
Don't be silly. My hat is not under my boot.
Would you just look?
Whenever he had a problem, he would go to her and be frustrated, and she would say, "Look under your boot. Whose name's under there? It's Andy, and he cares about you." So she is kind of the strongest character in all these films. And in number 4, we get to see what happened to her, why she was not in 3. She was given away, and when we meet her again, she's now a lost toy, and we get to see what that means for Woody and for Bo Peep.
There's plenty of kids out there.
Excuse me. Can you tell me where I am?
Shh! The guy's just asking a question. Well, excuse me. I'm trying to stay in character.
Bonnie's toys. Woody comes across them when he is taken from the Sunnyside Daycare by Bonnie and brought into the room, and he meets them, and they all play together like an improv group. They just say, "Stay loose, Bonnie. Like, you know, she knows what she's doing. Just hang out, and it'll be fine."
My name's Buttercup. You've met Baron von Schusch.
Buttercup, voiced by Jeff Garlin. I love this character. He's a unicorn, but he's a salty unicorn.
There is no way out. Just kidding. Door's right over there.
Very in line with Mr. Potato Head, where he just doesn't need to take anything from anybody, and he'll tell you that.
Well, cowboy, you just jumped right in, didn't you? I'm Dolly.
Dolly, voiced by the incredible Bonnie Hunt. Dolly is the Woody of Bonnie's room. She's the leader, and she's very, very funny.
Ruled by an evil bear who smells of strawberries.
Mr. Pricklepants, voiced by Tim Dalton. This is a hilarious character who, for some reason, thinks of himself as a thespian.
Just asking a question. Well, excuse me. I'm trying to stay in character.
So he's very happy to be in a room where everybody is improvising all the time.
Who's the new guy? Are you a real cowboy?
The Peas in the Pod. These are 3 little characters that are stuck together inside this fabric pod. Occasionally they get out, and I think at the end of Toy Story 3 they crawled inside Mr. Potato Head's butt.
I told you kids, stay out of my butt!
We're either in a cafe in Paris or a coffee shop in New Jersey.
Trixie is voiced by Kristen Schaal. She's a dinosaur toy, Triceratops, the same toy line that Rex is from. She's a computer whiz, and so whenever there's something that needs to be figured out on the internet, she's the toy to go to.
I'll fire up the computer.
Bullseye, part of Woody's roundup. He's introduced in Toy Story 2, and he is such a loyal animal to Woody.
Ride like the wind, Bullseye!
There's so much emotion that comes out of this character without saying a single word. We kind of treat him like a dog a little bit in terms of his animation, but he's Woody's horse, and he loved him so much.
To infinity and your mom.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Bunny, voiced by the incredible Jordan Peele. Carnival toy. He's a carnival toy that has been hanging in a game for 3 years, and he just wants to get with a kid no matter what.
If you think you can just show up and take our top prize spot, you're wrong. Dead wrong.
Carnival toys, we realize, is the worst existence for a toy. You're just hanging there, and a child wants to win you, and those games are impossible. Then the kid walks away sad, and you're still hanging there, and you get packed up and moved to the next town. It's the worst. And so these guys have a little bit of an edge to them. And Bunny is attached to Ducky. And so these two are always hanging out there together.
To infinity and beyond!
Buzz Lightyear, voiced by Tim Allen. He is an amazing toy, Space Ranger. When he came in Toy Story 1, he was the brand new toy that every kid wanted to get, every kid wanted to have. As Tim Allen says, Buzz isn't too bright. He can be kind of dim at times.
Star Command, come in. Do you read me?
Why don't they answer?
Well, the Buzz, I don't know if he's evolved as much, but he knows what it means to be a toy now. But I think his relationship with Woody definitely has evolved over the course of these films. They've become best friends.
Hey, Buzz! You're flying!
This isn't flying. This is falling with style.
That relationship between the two of them is something that we knew was so important to make the fourth film even work. So it's definitely influenced everything after the first film.
When it all ends, I'll have old Buzz Lightyear to keep me company. For infinity and beyond.
Good luck, cowboy.
Shattered Telephone, voiced by Teddy Newton. He's the lifer that's been in Sunnyside forever. The only way you can talk to him, kind of like in jail, is picking up the phone and speaking directly into the receiver. He knows how to get out of Sunnyside, and he tells Woody how to do it, but he also lets him know all the dangers that are going to happen if he even tries it.
There's only one way toys leave this place.
Good toy. A friend. Me and him, we had the same kid.
Chuckles, the clown, voiced by Bud Lucky. Chuckles was one of Daisy's original toys and experienced the whole journey of Lotso alongside with him, where Lotso went one way and went evil. Chuckles was saved by Bonnie and fixed, and that's how he ends up in Bonnie's room.
How'd you get out?
I got broke. Bonnie found me, took me home.
Combat Carl is voiced by Carl Weathers. Combat Carl never gives up. Combat Carl finds a way.
Now say it.
Combat Carl never gives up.
You're not Combat Carl!
Except for in the first Toy Story movie, he was blown up.
He's landing it! Hit the dirt!
Help me get out of here.
I'll help you.
With my foot! Get him.
Ducky, voiced by the amazing Keegan-Michael Key. He is kind of probably the most angry of the two, even though he's got these tiny little legs that he complains about.
You make me say it? What? With these tiny legs, I cannot reach without your help.
He and Bunny are just hand in hand, literally been wanting to get with a kid. And when Buzz knocks them down and ruins their chance, they are not happy about it.
Ha! How you like that, cheater? Huh? Wow! Yeah! Oh, to infinity and my foot! Boom!
Duke Kaboom, Canada's greatest stuntman. Oh yeah.
Duke Kaboom, voiced by Keanu Reeves, is Canada's greatest stuntman, and he is a old friend of Bo's, and when Bo needs his help, they go to find him and ask for his help.
Hi, Duke.
Who's the cowboy?
Duke, meet Woody.
The problem is that he is completely obsessed with his old commercial from when he was brand new, and he can never live up to what the commercial actually could do. And I think we've all experienced that when you see the toys. The toy commercial is so amazing, but then the toy is kind of like not as cool as it was advertised. So he has some baggage from that.
Now, Etch!
Etch-a-Sketch. It draws to communicate with the other toys. It has fun in Toy Story 1 with Woody. Woody says draw, and it draws.
Draw! Oh! Got me again!
again.
Toy Story 2, it's drawing out the Exhibit A, Exhibit B, the map of where Al might have gone when he took Woody. He's like a living PowerPoint presentation. Evil Emperor Zurg, voiced by Andrew Stanton. Zurg is Buzz Lightyear's arch nemesis.
Destroy Buzz Lightyear! Destroy Buzz Lightyear!
In Toy Story 2, we also find out he's his father, and they go off and play catch.
Good throw, son. That's my boy. Go long, buddy.
I don't belong here! Ah!
Forky is the wrench that we threw into the Toy Story films. He's a arts and craft project, basically, that came to life when Bonnie played with him. And he's voiced by the amazing Tony Hale.
This is Forky. I'm trash.
It was just so much fun to have a character that has never seen Toy Story 1 through 3 and it all of a sudden comes to life. So he can do and say anything and not understand why you should fall down when a kid comes into the room, and he doesn't get any of it. So he's so much fun, voiced by Tony, like I said, because he's so neurotic and full of anxiety, but also innocent and hilarious.
And look, we met you. My name is GABBY.
GABBY is an old talking toy from the same era as Woody, and she's been stuck in this antique store for the last 60 years. She's voiced by Christina Hendricks, who's incredible. The idea with Gabby is that she has a broken voice box that is why she's never been with a kid. And when Woody comes into the store, his is still working, and she is willing to take it from him in order to get with a kid no matter what.
Kid? Toys around here don't have kids.
She's definitely our villain, and she has a kind of a godfather quality to her.
You didn't tell me it was a cop. Howdy, Sheriff. Officer Giggle McDimples. I run Pet Patrol for Minneapolis.
Giggle McDimples, voiced by Ali Maki. She's the tiniest toy we've ever done in Toy Story. She's about half an inch tall, but she's got the biggest attitude, and she has an amazing laugh.
Don't stare.
She's an Officer Giggle McDimples. She's worked for Pet Patrol for the town of Minneapolis.
What's the situation? We heading out of town, or... Whoa! Who's this?
At precisely 8:32-ish. Exhibit A, Woody was kidnapped.
Ham, voiced by the amazing John Ratzenberger. This is a know-it-all character. The reason that he was as a know-it-all is the idea was he's a piggy bank, so he's always up on a shelf, which means he kind of has a lay of the land on everything happening in the room. And that's where that kind of came about, and John Ratzenberger is a perfect voice for that, because John Ratzenberger actually knows everything.
Negatory. It's a Fenster Schneckler 380. Finest child-proof lock in the world.
And he's just always part of the amazing chorus of background characters that are always there to tell the other toys how stupid they are.
You heard of Kung Fu? Well, get ready for pork chop!
Jessie, the yodeling cowgirl, voiced by Joan Cusack. This is one of the most fun characters, in my opinion, of the Toy Story franchise. She's part of Woody's Roundup gang, and Woody didn't even know that she was kind of his family, that she existed until Toy Story 2.
Look at us! We're a complete set!
She's so much fun, just so much full of energy all the time, and kind of has a thing for Buzz that we learn about in Toy Story 3.
So, who's ready for Ken's dream tour?
Ken, voiced by Michael Keaton. He's a accessory to Barbie.
Oh, heck, you don't know me from G.I. Joe, but when I look at you, I feel like we were made for each other.
Ken is extremely optimistic at all times, even though it's revealed he's working for the villain. When his relationship with Barbie is put in the balance, he'll definitely choose Barbie over Lotso any day.
And there's 100 million just like her.
Not to me, there's not.
Guys, Woody's riding our scene!
Lenny the Binoculars, voiced also by Joe Ranft. This guy just has an incredible vision. He's a wind-up toy, but they only use him kind of when they need to be able to see far distances.
Welcome to Sunnyside, folks. I'm Lotso Huggin' Bear, but please call me Lotso.
Lotso Huggin' Bear, voiced by Ned Beatty. He's the kind of the kingpin of Sunnyside Daycare in Toy Story 3. Lotso was abandoned by his owner, Daisy, years ago, and tried to find her again, goes back to her house, and realizes he's been replaced by another Lotso Huggin' Bear, which completely destroys him. And he then becomes the kingpin of Sunnyside Daycare because of that.
You all get a good night's rest.
got a full day of playtime tomorrow.
Lotso, being in Sunnyside, has a bunch of henchmen that are right there with him that are helping to enforce all the rules of the world of the daycare so that certain toys don't leave certain rooms, and he's trying to keep everybody in balance.
Well, thank you, Big Baby.
Big Baby is Lotso's right-hand man, right-hand baby. Never says a word in the Toy Story films except for coos and makes raspberry noises like a baby. I always love that the drawing on the baby looks like prison tattoos. That always makes me laugh.
Ah, here it is. It was filed under Lightyear.
Bookworm is voiced by the amazing Richard Kind. He has access to all of the manuals of all the toys in the Sunnyside daycare, and so he knows exactly how to manipulate anybody, including Buzz Lightyear.
I don't know why this couldn't wait until morning, Ken, but here you go.
He ain't the sharpest knife in the place where they keep the knives.
Neither are you, Chunk.
Chunk is one of the henchmen, and he's literally two-faced. He hits himself on the head. There's a button up there, and it switches from a happy face to an angry face. Monkey is a symbol monkey that is used as the lookout in Sunnyside Daycare. He's always got his eyes on all the video cameras, video screens at all time to see if any of the toys are moving about. And when he sees anything happening, he lets them know. Sparks is one of the most creative names we've ever came up with for a character because he's a robot and he shoots sparks.
Now Stretch takes the round.
You lost!
Stretch, voiced by Whoopi Goldberg, he's like this vinyl, gooey octopus. I remember having one of these, although I don't know why, and I remember the carpet sticking to it all the time. But she's very sticky, and she uses that to her advantage.
Where do you think you're going?
Buzz!
You got a little key for yourself, didn't you, Ken?
Hey, lay off, Twitch.
Twitch is this muscle-bound insect character that's just one of those muscle toys that everybody had.
Ages 3 and up. It's on my box. Ages 3 and up.
Mr. Potato Head, voiced by the amazing Don Rickles, one of the most sarcastic, hilarious characters in Toy Story.
You uncultured swine!
I just love that anytime you can cut to Mr. Potato Head and he can roll his eyes or take his mouth out and kiss his own butt, and it's hilarious.
I'm packing you an extra pair of shoes and your angry eyes, just in case.
Mrs. Potato Head, voiced by Estelle Harris. Whenever you just even see an image of Mrs. Potato Head, you could just hear her voice coming out of her. She's so opinionated and so much fun and loving at the same time.
You've lost weight and so tall.
Hey, who's got my hat?
Look, I'm Woody. Howdy, howdy, howdy.
Give me that.
Mr. Shark is a squeak toy. He comes out of the box and goes, howdy, 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 and while he's wearing Woody's hat. And then he goes back into the box. But he's a floppy squeeze toy. Mutant toys in Sid's house. So Sid took apart all of his toys and some of his sister's toys and put them back together Frankenstein style and created all these kind of mutants. And at first, Woody and Buzz are terrified of them, but then they come to see that they're just toys like anybody else that just unfortunately have been mutilated.
Sorry.
RC is kind of like a Lassie in a way, because even just using his words of his engine, he's able to communicate to the other toys, and they're always going, "What is it, boy? What is it?"
RC's trying to say something! What is it, boy?
But he's a remote control car.
Hey, who moved my doodle pad way over here?
How you doing, Rex?
Were you scared? Tell me honestly.
Rex, voiced by Wally Shawn. There's a lot of love for this character, and I think it's because he's so neurotic and kind of anxious all the time, and I think a lot of people see Rex in themselves.
Unidirectional bondage strip.
Mr. Lightyear wants more tape.
Robot is voiced by Jeff Pigeon. He helps Buzz fix his cardboard ship in Toy Story 1.
Pardon me, gentlemen, but have either of you seen a cowboy doll with a bad arm?
Why, no, I haven't.
Hey, he was talking to me!
No, he was talking to me!
Why, you?
Rock'em Sock'em Robots, they show up in Toy Story 2. This is always one of the best things about Toy Story, is you're able to take toys that you recognize as a kid, that you played with, and put them into the film. and give them a personality. These two guys are in Al's office. The toys are asking for directions, and these two just start fighting over who that they were talking to. It's a great gag, and I remember seeing it in the theater and busting up.
All right, man, you heard it. Code Red, repeat. We are Code Red. Recon Plan Charlie, execute. Let's move.
Sarge and the Army Man, voiced by Arlie Ermy. I love these characters. That sequence from the first film where they're taking their business so serious to go down and check out what birthday presents are coming in. I think that just speaks so much about Toy Story and how serious these characters take their lives. But these guys, they also abandoned their posts at the beginning of Toy Story 3.
We done our duty. Andy's grown up.
Good news is, I found your hat, Woody.
My hat! Oh!
Slinky Dog. I don't know why. For some reason, this character, I just love this character so much. Maybe it's because it's a dog and we all played with Slinkies. I don't know. But voiced by the amazing Blake Clark.
No, I got a kink in my slink.
Who is good friends with Jim Varney, who was the original voice.
My back end's going to Baton Rouge.
I don't know if there's any limit as far as Slinky can stretch. I think he stretches as long as we need him to for the shot that we're making. Yeah, there are some shots, I think in the first film, he's stretching like 40 feet. Other ones, he's stretching 10 feet.
The prodigal son has returned.
Stinky Pete the Prospector, voiced by Kelsey Grammer. We meet him in Toy Story 2, and he's in his box. It's never been opened, and he has been on a shelf for forever, and now he's finally getting a chance to go to Japan to be part of this toy collection, and he will not let Woody leave because the collection won't get bought if Woody's not part of it.
And no hand-me-down cowboy doll is gonna mess it up for me now.
And I don't want to spoil the end of Toy Story 2 if you haven't seen it. Utility Belt Buzz, this is from Toy Story 2, is a different Buzz Lightyear from the Buzz Lightyear we know. He still thinks he's a space ranger, and the only difference between them is this belt. So Buzz Lightyear, the one that we know, sees this Buzz Lightyear and is kind of can't believe how delusional he was in the first film.
I have a laser, and I will use it. You mean the laser that's a light bulb?
Wheezy? Is that you?
Hey, Woody.
Wheezy, voiced by Joe Ranft. This is one of the greatest characters. He's just been on the shelf in Toy Story 2 forever. He's coughing up dust. His squeaker's broken. And then he gets put into a box that's going to go off to the yard sale, which Woody then jumps out to rescue him. But he's just a simple squeeze toy.
There you go, pal.
Bless you, Woody.
And at the end of the movie, he has the voice of Robert Goulet.
You've got a friend in me.
Reach for the sky.
Woody the Cowboy, voiced by Tom Hanks.
Well, what do you know?
He is the most loyal toy in the world. He's there for his kid no matter what, whether it's Andy or Bonnie. He's learned from Toy Story 1, it's not necessarily important to be the most important toy. Toy Story 2, he's learned that you're not going to live forever.
I don't want to play with you anymore.
Toy Story 3, he is outgrown, and that's the thing that happens to every toy that he has to deal with.
It's away.
No. He was putting you in the attic.
And Toy Story 4 is about what happens after you've been given to another kid and you've done your job, but now it's a completely different room, different toys, and it's not going to be the same.
So long, partner.
And that is every toy in the Toy Story movies. You think we missed any? We didn't, but let us know in the comments.
It's to infinity and beyond.
That's the stupidest thing I ever heard.
You can't go to infinity, dummy. It's impossible.